the Honda UK. They have joined forces with the British Talent Cup for this year, and that really makes it the new collaboration that's fully focused on developing the stars of the future in the road to MotoGP, giving the Honda British Talent Cup a new look for 2020. That new look is that the riders provide their own machines this year. They are all running the perfectly standard NSF 250R Honda single-cylinder four-stroke machines here, but the series open to riders aged between 12 and 17, and the technical revs, as I say, they do mirror the highly successful Dorna-promoted European Talent Cup, of which, incidentally, Casey O'Gorman was racing at Jerez, or was only racing in Spain last weekend in the last round of the European Talent Cup. Prize money, well, there's 500 quid for each race win, 300 for second and 200 for third, even 50 quid for the 10th rider home in each of the championship rounds. That's paid by MSVR, who pay the prize money for the Honda British Talent Cup. And at the end of it is Dunlop Motorsport. They award the top three riders in the championship 5,000 quid to the champion, 3,000 for second and 2,000 for third in the overall championship. Let's have a quick look and see how they line up then for this, which will be the championship race round number 3, i.e. races 5 and 6 in the ongoing 10 race series. And we'll tell you how the championship lies in a moment or two. But the way in which they will line up will be as follows. In pole position then will be the number 71 rider, currently running 5th in the championship. This is Charlie Farrar. Alongside him sits the number 72 rider, who currently runs 4th in the championship series, and this is Casey O'Gorman. And completing the front row of the grid will be the number 16, and this is the rider running 3rd in the championship. This is Harvey Claridge. So 71 Charlie Farrar, 72 Casey O'Gorman, at 16 Harvey Claridge. Row number 2 sees 8 Eddie O'Shea, 17, and this is the championship leader Franco Bourne, and 52 Evan Belford. Row 3 sees 43 Ryan Hitchcock, 75 Jonathan Garnis, and 15 Harrison Crosby. Row 4, 48 Ollie Walker, 44 Lucas Hill, and 37 Corey Tinker. Row 5 will be 7 Jamie Lyons, 74 James Cook, and 66 Absy Thomas, Annabelle Thomas. Row 6 will be 46 Elliot Dufton, 69 Gary Scott, and 65 Alexander Rowan. Row 7 will be 11 Rossi Dobson, 14 Evan Pendrell, and 2 Reese Coates. And on the back row, which is row number 8, will be number 5 Mason Johnson, 90 Harry Cook, and 27 Callum Beach. All Dunlop shod. Pole position then to number 71 Charlie Farrar, 18-year-old from Easton to Colliery in County Durham. The rider finished 3rd at Donington Park, then crashed out on lap number 1 at Craner Curve. If you remember, when he crashed out, you may want to remember it from seeing it on TV. On that very first lap, he went down at Craner. He landed on his backside. The bike just kept in an upright position, went over the grass, over the track, and into the gravel down by the old hairpin. And believe it or not, Richard Mortimer, who runs the Victoria House Racing Academy, Richard Mortimer said the sum total of damage on the bike was a 2-inch cut on the fairing. It was a little graze on the fairing that rubbed out. Absolutely unbelievable that they got away so lightly with that. That's Charlie Farrar sitting in pole position. Alongside him then is the number 72, and this is the 13-year-old, this prodigious talent of Casey O'Gorman. Casey, who last year raced in Spain in the Pre-Moto 4 Championship, race for the Spanish team, the Cuna de Campeones, which quite literally, Cuna de Campeones literally translates into Cradle of Champions, and which quite literally is the Stars of Tomorrow type class in Spain up there. He actually won the MotoGP support race at Valencia last year, did Casey O'Gorman, all 4 foot 11.5 inches of him, 38 kilogram, races out of Erith in Kent, although he was born at Portlaoise in the Republic of Ireland and does carry an Irish passport. That's Casey O'Gorman, who runs the Michael Elias Creswell Racing Honda, and completing the front row of the grid then is the number 16, and this is the 15-year-old of Harvey Claridge from Staining in West Sussex on the City Lifting Steve Patterson 125. 8th and 2nd at Donington, 4th and 3rd at Snetton. Let's just check down there with Scoop, who's alongside the grid. He can't get onto the grid, but Scoop in the pit lane, looking to the riders there. Any news to come from the pit lane, Scoop?
No, not at all, Fred. The pit lane is closed. It looks like we've got a full contingent down here, so just waiting to go with this race. We've had some absolute crackers, haven't we? Casey O'Gorman's not had the best of luck. I think he's had 2 wins and 2 DNFs, so He'll be looking to try and add to his winning scorebook.
It's a pretty diabolical look if you think about it. I mean, Casey O'Gorman in that second, he won the first race at Donington Park. If you remember the second one, he crashed whilst trying to go around the outside of Harvey Clarence, I think, at Schwant's curve. He just ran out of track and landed on his backside. And then the first race at Snetterton, he retired when the end peg broke off his gear pedal and he couldn't select a gear.
We did have that conversation. We couldn't remember exactly what that component was called, could we, Fred? The part of the gear stick that you just hooked to change your board.
I've come up with the end peg.
I had a chat with none better person than the team coordinator at Paul Bird Motorsport, Johnny Mauer, and he said, "Oh, it's simple, Scoop. Don't you know that? They call it the toe end. That is the part that protrudes out from the gear stick, which allows you to change gear, Fred." So every day's a school day, isn't it?
So obvious when it's given to you like that, isn't it? Hey, no, Johnny Mowat, he knows it all. That's why he's the top man. He's the team coordinator for the Vision Track Paul Bird Motorsport squad out there. And, well, let's have a look at this one then, because in terms of the championship, Franco Bourne enjoys just an 8-point advantage over Eddie O'Shea, who is just 5 points clear of Harvey Clarence, and 7 points back is Casey O'Gorman. It's all pretty close. There's no big gaps there, and it's a fair old bet, Larry, that come the conclusion of race number 2 tomorrow, there will be a fair amount of rejuggling of these top 10 positions or so. But at the moment, Franco Bourne is your championship leader, number 17, from number 8, Eddie O'Shea, and number 16, Harvey Clarence. The rider's going to get the whole shot. There's no two ways about that, because power to weight is certainly on his side, and that would be Casey O'Gorman, the 13-year-old from Erith in Kent. As I say, he was born in Portlaoise in the Republic of Ireland. His mum's from Kent, but his dad is actually from Portlaoise on the Republic. And his dad was with Casey when they went to Spain last weekend. They didn't actually take this bike, the Micro Lies John Creswell bike. They hired a bike from one of the teams out there in Spain, and I think they are going to go back and do the final round of the European Talent Cup in October. Clear, very single-minded. Dad is very, very single-minded. Dad, incidentally, he did race back in the year 2000 with a certain rider called by the name of Casey Stoner, and got to know Casey Stoner quite well, and said if ever I have a son, he's going to be called after Casey Stoner. That's why he's got a son called Stoner O'Gorman. No, Casey O'Gorman. That's why he gets his name Casey. Pretty obvious, really, isn't it? That's Dad John, and a lovely character he is. If you get the chance, Larry, when you have him in an interview situation, Casey O'Gorman, you don't really speak with Casey O'Gorman, you speak to Casey O'Gorman. His dad was saying, he was so shy as a young child that the school teachers used to say that this boy just doesn't talk. He was known as the boy who will not talk, and he's still very sort of monosyllables at the moment, is Casey O'Gorman, but he does his talking on the racetrack, and I, for one, reckon that he will get the whole shot into turn number 1. Charlie Farron.
I did actually interview him on air at Snetterton, Fred, when that toe end did fall off, and you're quite right, he was a man of very, very few words. 3
minutes to the warm-up lap. All running the identical NSF 250R Hondas. This basically is the machine that Honda came out with a number of years ago when they first came back into the MotoGP arena. The number 8 out there, that is Eddie O'Shea, who's on the second row of the grid. He's entered by Wham, and if you're wondering what that is, it's not Wham Bam Slam and Thank You Ma'am. That is the Warwick Allen Motorsport Squad. Warwick Allen, who, if you recall, helped Charlie Nesbitt during last year. 13-year-old Eddie O'Shea from Swadlincote in Leicestershire. Just awaiting on the riders to be released out onto their green flag lap. The colour coding for Microlize, of course, that's pretty easy to spot at long range. The colour coding for the John Creswell squad. That's the red, the blue and the white colour coding. The pole position man of Charlie Farrer running for the Victoria House Racing Academy. That's Richard Mortimer. Richard Mortimer, former TT racer. I've known Richard for many, in fact, commentated on Richard at the TT back in the 1980s, it would be, and got to know Richard very well back then. And he runs this academy, the Victoria House Racing. Victoria House, basically, is a letting company. He owns a number of properties and lets them out under the Victoria House banner, and he runs an academy whereby he effectively picks an up-and-coming rider up and takes him all the way through a season, paying just about every bill that comes along. And Charlie Farrer is the lucky recipient this year. The Richard Mortimer Property Leasing Company That provides just about everything to go racing with. 7th in the British Talent Cup of last year, including a best of 3rd at Snetterton for Charlie Farrer last year. Completing the front row of the grid is the number 16 of Harvey Claridge on the distinctive red with the yellow lettering on the side of City Lifting. We got to know the City Lifting squad very much so, with Ryan Saxby involved, Steve Patterson involved with that City Lifting squad when they were running in the Motor Star Championship of last year. Riders then out onto their green flag lap. Lap record, is it going to go? If it does, it'll go reasonably early on, and that lap record is slightly erroneous, really, because the lap record for the British Talent Cup held by Charlie Atkins at 61.647. That's not really the one you should be comparing it with, because that lap record was held on a slightly different specification Honda to the ones they're running now. That one last year, the bikes were provided by Dorna. It had a slightly tricker suspension. It had certainly a tricker exhaust system on it last year, and no quick shifters, but this year is perfectly standard across the board, although they do run quick shifters. So I suppose more directly is Victor Rodriguez standard lap record of 62.204. Looks as if they're going to get a couple of green flag laps as they go through to the completion of the first of the green flag laps, just go scorching through to start a second lap. Charlie Farrer 71, 72 Casey O'Gorman, and 16 Harvey Claridge. The second row of the grid, Eddie O'Shea, as I was saying, the number 8 rider, 13-year-old Eddie, racing out of Swaddling Coat on the Warwick Allen Motorsport, the WAM entry, and alongside him will be the number 17 of the 16-year-old from Crook in County Durham, and that is the Franco Bourne entry. Franco, who is the championship leader. Second and first at Donington Park, and he got that victory at the very last chicane. Robert Chicane coming down to the right and left on the very last lap, and Franco, who won the first race at Snetterton, but then on the run down toward the Murray's chicane on the very last lap, crashed out on the very last lap. So he's had 3 finishes, that's 2 wins and a second place, and a non-finish, Franco Bourne, and he is your championship leader and is poised very handily on that front row of the grid. But I reckon that they are going to see the rear quarters of Casey O'Gorman on that drag in toward turn number 1. Power to weight for Casey O'Gorman favours him 4 foot 11.5, 38 kilograms soaking wet. He does carry ballast. There is a minimum weight limit for these machines, and if you do fall below that minimum, you do have to carry a certain amount of artificial ballast on board to make it more Evans-Stevens. We've given you the front 2 rows of the grid in some sort of detail. Well, we didn't give you Evan Belford, did we? 52 Evan Belford, 13-year-old from Grindon. Rider who had a 100 mile an hour off when the engine blew and locked the engine up through Schwantz Curve at Donington Park in the first of the 2 races. Running the Scott Ogden British Talent Cup championship winning machine of last year is Evan Belford. They come under orders, and this is going to go over 25 laps. Watch the lights, and who's going to get the whole shot on the drag into toward turn number 1, and a good start then from pole position by Charlie Farrer. Casey O'Gorman has got cleanly away the drag into toward turn number 1, and it is predictably the microlised colours. That is Casey O'Gorman that gets the whole shot into turn number 1 ahead of pole position rider Charlie Farrer, and yes, Charlie Farrer is moving up then, holding second place on the run up toward the Becker's sector on that part of the corner. Casey O'Gorman, your race leader. Ooh, a wide line around the outside there by that look to be the number 16 rider there. That would be Harvey Claridge. Harvey Claridge, who was on the front row of the grid, 3rd fastest during qualifying, as they sort themselves out into some semblance of order on the run down the Wellington Straight, and that is Casey O'Gorman, number 72 then from Charlie Farrer, who's running in that second position, number 71, coming in toward Brooklands, then up toward Loffield for the first time. In 3rd place, right on the wheel of the race leader, is Harvey Claridge, number 16. That looks to be Eddie O'Shea, that also had a good start and got cleanly away with the front runners. Yes, Eddie O'Shea running there in 4th place ahead of the City Lifting rider. That looks to be Franco Bourne, number 17, as they complete lap number 1. They go across the line. O'Gorman, 72, Claridge, 16, 71 Farrer, 17 Bourne, 8 O'Shea, 52 Belford, 75 Garners, 43 Hitchcock, 48 Walker, 7 Lyons, 15 Crosby, 44 Hill, 74. That is James Cook, Captain James Cook, the younger brother of Max Cook, and then it is Dufton, Tinker, Rowan, Dobson, Scott, Coates, Beach, Absey, Thomas, Pendle, Johnson, and Harry Cook, number 90, just going through the 24th of 24 riders at the end of lap number 1. This will give us the first indication of the pace that's being set out here. As Casey O'Gorman leads the way, just easing his way. Well, looking to ease his way up into second place is Charlie Farrar, but Harvey Claridge holds it in toward Brooklands Corner. The number 16 running under number 16 for City Lifting, and that then as they come back toward us, this will be the first final lap. What's the lap record we're looking to? Around about 62.2 or 61.6 if we are going to compare apples with pears. And across the line goes Casey O'Gorman to complete the first of those final laps, and that's at 62. In fact, the fastest rider is in second place, and that is Harvey Claridge at 61.745, which would be certainly inside the British standard lap record, and will be just a whisker outside of the British Talent Cup lap record. This under Honda auspices for the 2020 season. O'Gorman, Claridge, Farrar, Bourne, O'Shea, Belford. Then moving up a place comes the number 43 of the 12-year-old Ryan Hitchcock from Melksham, picking up a place. Not a good start there, just looking to see the number 7 down there, and that is the number 7 of Jamie Lyons, the 15-year-old from Omer in County Tyrone. Just looking behind that little gaggle of riders was the number 43. That's Hitchcock. Just behind him is Garnish, number 75. That is Jonathan Garnish. Jonathan, who won the British Mini Moto Championship last year, riding the Factory Pellini, was also runner-up in the Mini Moto European Championship over a race at Assen last year, was Jonathan Garnish, just 12 years of age. Couldn't race at the first round at Donington Park, Jonathan Garnish. He was underage and was able to race at Snetterton when he crashed out on the first lap in the first race, and then 15th in the second race. Distinctive yellow Peter Banks colour coding there, the New York taxi cab colour coding of number 15. That's the 14-year-old Harrison Crosby from Ashford, and he's had a couple of good finishes, 2 7th places at Snetterton for Harrison Crosby, running for Peter Banks. Just looking to Eddie O'Shea, coming under pressure now from Franco Bourne, number 17. That's the 4th and 5th place riders. Meanwhile, ahead of them, it is Casey O'Gorman, number 72. But the gap between himself and the number 16 of Harvey Claridge is just coming down all the time. Harvey Claridge, the 15-year-old from Staining in West Sussex. And let's have a look out as they come back into view in real time. Pick up with the binoculars as they come through Luffield and then head on toward Woodcote Corner. And it is still... It's not, because the lead has changed, and that is Claridge. Where is O'Gorman? Where is O'Gorman? Has he gone missing on that lap because they go across the line? Did we miss him as they went through? No, O'Gorman's gone missing on that lap. Casey O'Gorman is definitely not there as they came through to complete that lap. He was leading, and he is being shuffled back all the time now on that lap number 4. The number 72 leading has gone missing, and we'll keep our eyes out to see an indication on the screen. But just looking to see... I think he must have stepped off. He's okay. I can tell you that the rider is okay. Yes, Casey O'Gorman is okay. The TV camera's just picking up with him with the race safe marshals. He's behind the barriers in a position of safety, but that is a faller at Luffield. He went down at turn 6, ladies and gents, and that is Casey O'Gorman. And that was just the point then when I was just picking up the binoculars that he must have gone down, because it was then Farrar and O'Shea, and this is the battle now, and O'Shea's in the lead now. So O'Shea, no, he's not. He's coming under pressure from Franco Bourne. He is coming under pressure here. The lead is coming up then, and Clary should be your leader as they come through to complete this lap ahead of Charlie Farrar. Then it's O'Shea and Bourne battling out for third position. The leading duo have opened up a little bit of an advantage over the O'Shea-Bourne battle. Then there's a bigger gap before we then get Evan Belford, number 52, from the number 43 rider going through there, which is the 12-year-old Ryan Hitchcock. It is then Walker, 48, Garner, 75, 15 Crosby, and completing the top 10 is the number 74 of Captain James Cook. Followed by Dufton, Lyons, Tinker, Hill, Rowan, Dobson, Thomas, Scott, Coates, Pendrell, Beach, Johnson, and number 9090, Harry Cook. The only retirement was the faller of O'Gorman, Casey O'Gorman, on that second lap, yes, it was lap number 2, wasn't it, when he went down. Coming up to the leaders, the fastest lap in the hands of Clarice, 61.473. And whichever one you want to compare it with, that is a new lap record for the number 16 of the 15-year-old Harvey Claridge, who currently runs third in the championship chase. They go through, that's the battle going on behind with O'Shea and Bourne. 8 O'Shea, 17, that is Bourne. Then the gap before we'll then get Belford, Hitchcock, and then the freight train. Hitchcock behind him, it will be Walker, Garnes. Then it is the number 74 of James Cook, then of Crosby, Dufton, Lyons, Tinker, Hill, Rowan, Dobson, Absey, Thomas, Scott, should then be the number 2 of Reese Coates, the 14-year-old from Northern Ireland. Pendrell, Johnson Beach and Harry Cook. Where are the leaders? I can tell you that the leaders are already coming down the Wellington Straight in the order of number 16, Harvey Claridge, just 0.4 of a second advantage ahead of Charlie Farrer, number 71. Remember that the number 16 of Harvey Claridge, he runs third in the championship chase, and this is going to do his aspirations a whole power of good as long as he can stay where he is. The third place by no means settled here. Here comes the ball around the outside of O'Shea as they come into Luffield in and Luffield out, and they're trying around the outside. Can he ride around the outside of Woodcote Corner? He can't. He drops back into line to turn action. That is O'Shea, number 8 from Bourne, number 17. They are alongside each other as they complete lap number 7. Claridge, Farrer, O'Shea, Bourne, Belford, and then the freight train goes through behind them. There's a bit of a gap. That's 4 seconds back behind them before we get Hitchcock, Walker, Garness. Then it is James Cook, Crosby, Dufton, Lyons, Tinkerhill, Rowan, Dobson, Thomas and Scott. But what a scrap going on for third position. O'Shea has it, but patently Bourne wants it, number 17. And at the moment, Clary still leads this one from Charlie Farrer. Number 71, your rider running 5th in the championship campaign. The number 16 leader is running 3rd and still holds lead. The gap opening up, I would say, is probably around about 3 seconds plus behind Farrer before we get O'Shea, who's still there running under number 8, the distinctive yellow fenders, the yellow cycle parts and blue, and around the outside, the all white coming around the outside of number 17, Franco Bourne. And this time he does it. This time he does it on Luffield out, and Franco Bourne now moves up into 3rd position. The 16-year-old, well, as Robert the Bruce was it, and that Spider never give in, and he tried it and tried it and tried it, and he's now got that 3rd place, the number 17 of Franco Bourne, the 16-year-old from County Durham. That pushes O'Shea, number 8, back to 4th. Balfour, 52, is 5th. 48, Walker moves up to 6th place. That pushes Hiscock, 43, back to 7th, and in 8th place is the 12-year-old, and that is Jonathan Garness. Diminutive little figure of Jonathan Garness. Was chatting to him and his dad during the paddock yesterday. Then Crosby, and then it is Cork, Dufton, Tinker, Hill, Lyons and Rowan. That is the 15th place at the moment for the number 65 of Alexander Rowan. All 13 years of age from Dromara in County Down. 4 foot 7 inches tall is Alexander Rowan, and I know that to be precise because we actually got a tape measure out and measured him in the paddock at Snetterton. Leaders then are on their way now to through to complete, and they've just gone through Clarice and Farrer, 0.2 of a second separating 1st and 2nd place, and that was Casey O'Gorman. A replay there, I think, of Casey O'Gorman, though. I missed the replay there. Casey somewhat annoyed with himself. Now, was it an inexcusable off or what? But either way, he was quickly onto his feet, and okay was Casey O'Gorman. Garness is moving up here. This is the number 75, the 12-year-old from Ilfracombe, on the 2nd of the Michael Eyes John Creswell Hondas. Remember that Casey O'Gorman running for Michael Eyes. Well, this, having only his 2nd race in the Championship Series, is Jonathan Garness. Crashed on the first lap at Snetterton, then 15th in the second one. A rider more used to the little small wheels. He was also 10th in the Italian Mini Moto Championship of last year, was Jonathan Garness. And again, power to weight is very much going to favour his particular presence on the circuit because there's just nothing of him. Here is the leader. He's not shaken off his shadow. 16 to 71, Claridge and Farrer. They are still tied together by just about 5 yards of elastic. 0.16 of a second if you want it on the old egg timer. Then 4.5 seconds back on that, though. It is 17 Bourne, O'Shea, and there at that freight train behind. That's 3, 6, 9, 10 riders just going through nose to tail. That's Belford, Garness, Walker, Crosby, Tinker, Hitchcock, then the James Cook, Dufton, Hill, and just look to see if that was the fallen rider that's gone down there, because that, just checking who that was that's gone down there. Is that Farrer that's gone down there? I think that may well be Charlie Farrer that's gone down there. And let's have a look as they come back toward us. I think that may well be Charlie Farrer. No, it's number 5. Number 5 that has crashed down at Luffield. That's number 5 at Luffield. Rider is okay. That number 5 is Mason Johnson. Let's have a look for the leaders as they come back toward us here. So the leaders are just absolutely just one. And here they come, still just tied together, nose to tail. Claridge and Farrer. 0.16 of a second it was. It's 0.1 of a second now. Claridge, Farrer, 4.5 seconds back on that. Bourne, half second back. O'Shea. Then a bit of a gap, a bit of a breathing space before. Here come the gaggle. Here come the cavalry behind, and that then will be Belford, Walker, Crosby, Garners, Tinker, James Cook, Dufton, Hitchcock, Rowan Hill, and Lyons as in close order as that, as they reel off lap number 11. Just completing lap 11 is the number 11 of Dobson, Absy Thomas 66, Scott 69, two Coates, Pendle 14, should then be Beach and Harry Cook. And one lap behind them, I think, no, in fact, 2 4, isn't it? O'Gorman and the number 5 of Mason Johnson. They are the two sitting this one out as we go back with the race leaders. Number 16 still holds sway, Harvey Claridge. Let's have a quick look to see what this is going to do in terms of the points. 5 points behind Eddie O'Shea. Well, he's certainly going to move up into second place. And he's going to tell you, what about Franco Bourne? That's the important thing. Franco Bourne, 25-20-16. He's running 9 points in arrears. So he will still be the leader. If he stays where he is, Franco Bourne will still be the leader with a reduced differential. Here comes the Panzer Division as they come across the line. That really is a cracking scrap going on there, headed by the number 48 of Ollie Walker, 12-year-old Ollie Walker from Highbridge near Burnham-on-Sea down there in Somerset, backed by Steve Moore and Motor Rapido. But cutting through on this side comes Peter Banks' rider on the New York Taxi Cab Yellow. That is number 15, Harrison Crosby, the 14-year-old from Ashford that takes over the ascendancy of that particular freight train of riders. And the tail end of that gaggle is the number 7 of Jamie Lyons. Well, they'd be disappointed to be back there with Jamie Lyons. He was certainly higher earlier on a couple of laps ago. As we go back with the race leaders, they are already on their way. Here they come. Directly in front of us now, cranked well over onto the right-hand side of the Dunlop tyres, through to reel off what is lap number 13. Get that one out of the way. 0.19 of a second Claridge from Farah. Bourne, O'Shea. Lonely position then for the number 52 of Evan Belford. This won't be so lonely behind though. And here they come, and it is now then Crosby that's moved up then to head the freight train. Crosby goes up to 6th position ahead of Walker 48, Garner 75, 74 James Cook, 46 Dufton, 37 Tinker, 43 Hitchcock, 65 Rowan, 44 Hill, and number 7 Lyons. Then a little bit of a breathing space before we then get the number 66 Absy Thomas. Annabelle Thomas now ahead of the number 11 of Rossi Dobson for what will be 16th position outside of the points, behind Dobson, Scott, Coates, Pendrell, then Beach and Harry Cook. But we want to get back with the leaders, and such is the pace of the leaders that are already back into Luffield in and Luffield out. Frustrating 5 yards, make that 3 yards, the differential between first and second as they come through to complete this lap. Equally so for third and fourth, and up into third place. O'Shea's gone back into third place. That is the number 8 of Eddie O'Shea, the 13-year-old, has taken third place back then from the number 17 of Franco Bourne as they reel off lap number 14. That will affect Franco Bourne there, because Franco Bourne, the championship leader, this could well mean that Claridge could well be going into the lead. 25-20-16-13, and that's 12 points. You know, in fact, Franco Bourne would lead the championship if he stays where he is by just 1 point going into tomorrow's race number 6. Well, it ain't over till it's over. This is a 25-lapper still, some 11 laps and decreasing to go. But looking to consolidate, the third position is the number 8 of Eddie O'Shea. 2 second places at Snedderton. Looking now to go back onto the podium once again. Just off the podium at Donington Park, the first meeting of the year, 2 fifth places for O'Shea. 17 Bourne, 1 win at Donington Park in the second place, 1 win and a crash at Snedderton for Franco Bourne. And here is the 8 from the 17. That means that Claridge and Farr have gone through. Indeed, they have. 0.2 of a second. Slightly increased advantage this time to Harvey Claridge, number 16, the 15-year-old who finished 4th in the British Moto 3 standard category of last year. He was 11th in the British Talent Cup of last year, and just for good measure, he was run up in the Cool Fab Pit Bike Championship as well last year, was Harvey Claridge. 2 cracking battles going on, Claridge and Farah and O'Shea and Bourne, and that is 4 into 3 won't go. There's 3 places on the podium, and 4 riders are disputing those. Ollie Walker's moving up a place or 2 here. That is the number 48 rider of Ollie Walker, just 12 years of age, from Highbridge near Burnham-on-Sea. This is a cracking ride by Ollie Walker. His best result so far was a 7th at Donington Park. He's now running in 6th place, the number 48, ahead of Harrison Crosby, number 15, then James Cook, number 74. It is then the number 43 of Ryan Hitchcock, the 12-year-old Ryan Hitchcock from Melksham. As we have the leaders through, yes, we do. There they are indeed. And this time it's slightly closer. This time I think that Charlie Farrer is now in a position to attack. He's just negated that differential between himself and Harvey Claridge, down to just on a couple of machine lengths as they go through Copse Corner. And there's that battle going on behind, and it's gone there still with O'Shea, who's running in 3rd place, number 8 from Bourne, number 17, who runs 4th. In 5th place, 52 Belford, 6th place, 15 Crosby, 7th place, 74 James Cook, 48 Walker, 43 Hitchcock, 46 Dufton complete the top 10 from 75 Garner, 65 Rowan, 37 Tinker, 44 Hill, 7 Lions, 66 Annabelle Thomas, still just outside the points in 16th place, head of Dobson, number 11, Scott, 69, Coates, number 2, Pendle, 14, and Beach and Harry Cook still to come. As we come back with the leaders, and here they come once again. You just can't blink, because in the twinkling of an eye they are back in toward visual range, and here are our 2 leaders as one. He's as close as he's ever been now, and he's got the drive coming out of Woodcote Corner. That is running in 2nd place. That is Charlie Farrer. Charlie Farrer could well make the move on the inside going into Copse Corner. Now he has to just exercise caution and sit back in 2nd position. That's the same scenario, really, for 3rd and 4th position. That is the 8 from the 17 of Franco Bourne. This could well be down to the very last run in toward Luffield. 16 Claridge, the 15-year-old, has it. 71 Charlie Farrer, the County Durham rider, he wants it, but who's going to get it? We will know the answer to that very, very shortly. Here they come once again down toward Brooklands. Front running all the time, the number 16, the city lifting Steve Patterson, 125. In fact, that's the Nova Racing Transmissions there. I think he may well have changed his team, the number 16, running for Nova Racing. Must check that one. I don't think he's running for city lifting, or is he? But certainly got help from Nova Transmissions as well. The number 16 of Harvey Claridge, as they come up now with 8 laps to go, and still no change for 3rd and 4th. 8 from 17, O'Shea from Bourne. Now, the lap time is such that actually 3rd and 4th are closing quite dramatically on the 2 leaders. And I'm just wondering whether tyre wear is coming into account here. The 8 from the 17 definitely pulled back, something shy of a second on the gap between themselves. 4.26 it was at the end of that last lap. I'll just check on the leader. That was 4.5 at the end of lap number 18 between 1st and 3rd positions. But visually it looks like that is coming down as they get in amongst the back markers, being put 1 lap in arrears. That is Harry Cook, number 90, put 1 lap in arrears by Claridge, Farrer, O'Shea and Bourne. And Charlie Farrer, he's lost a bit of contact on Claridge. Claridge now, I think, may well have made the break. This could well be the break for victory here, coming from the number 16 of Harvey Claridge. With some 7 laps to go, Claridge now 0.24 it was. That's going to go well in excess of that now. Yes, 3/4 of a second advantage now to Claridge from Charlie Farrer. 4.6 seconds back on that, and that is just about, well, they again marginally quicker than the leader was O'Shea. But the pace is up now by Claridge. Claridge now has found the switch that says afterburner. That's the number 71. They're just putting a bit of tape off. I think that may well just been a little bit of tape masking the radiator. Perhaps it's just overheating a little bit. That's what they normally do with the cooler conditions. And it's cooler today than it was during yesterday's free practice sessions. Part of the radiator is blanked off with duct tape. And they have a way of just pulling the duct tape off during racing conditions that will allow more air to cool the motor down. Leaders coming up into the completion of lap number 20. 5 to go to the checker, and that now is going to be in excess of 1 second. Claridge now has made the break for victory. The number 16 is 1.1 second. Harvey Claridge, who has not won a race here this year, a second and a 3rd, and now he's looking to get the one to complete the set, is Harvey Claridge, number 16. Still that freight train behind. It's not been settled at all, and that is Ollie Walker. That's the number 48 there, Ollie Walker. There's just a whisker ahead then of Hitchcock, James Cook, Garnis, Crosby, Dufton, Tinker, Rowan Hill, Lyons, and that's going to go right the way down to the checkered flag to sort that particular one out, as I'm sure it is for third position as well. The front position, though, looks as if that at the moment is being settled in favour of Harvey Claridge. Number 16, Harvey Claridge, in this, the Honda British Talent Cup. Harvey Claridge from Staining in West Sussex, a rider who finished 21st in the British Talent Cup of last year, had a best placing of 9th in Valencia. I think that was 2 years ago, because last year he was 4th in the British Moto 3, wasn't he, and 11th in the British Talent Cup. Either way, we are now into the 2020 Honda British Talent Cup, and come down again. It's come back down in favour of Claridge to 3/4 of a second. So Farah now is upping the ante as far as he's concerned, and he's really got to do that, Charlie Farah, number 71. When he got into almighty back end slide there, that distinctive baby blue, white and black fairing on the side of that number 71 machine there of Charlie Farah, the Victoria Harris Racing Academy of Richard Mortimer. Looking to see who's third. It's still O'Shea from Bourne. But we must have the leaders coming down toward us here at Brooklands Corner. They should be heading now into all visual. Yes, there they are, into real viewing time as we look across. And there's the third and fourth place. They're even closer for third and fourth. That gap that was 0.76 of a second now, is that coming down? It's got to come down if Farah is going to stand any chance whatsoever over the final 3 laps. And I think it's probably around about 3/4 of a second still. Claridge from Farah, 0.6. It's come down marginally, but is it coming down at sufficient a rate to give Charlie Farah a chance over the final lap? Certainly Bourne is now in a challenging position, as he has been really all race on the rear end of O'Shea. Maybe that he thinks if he went too early, then O'Shea will just come straight back at him. He's only going to get one clean shot at this third place, the number 17 of Franco Bourne. Championship leader Franco Bourne. And this is the difference to 4 points between third and fourth. And those 4 points could well be critical come the final tot-up when we leave the final round at Brands Hatch in October. And Charlie Farah's close enough. Charlie Farah's definitely bridged the gap. Well, he's like the Cadbury snack. He's bridged that gap, and he now is going to stand a chance, I reckon, over the last couple of laps here of going for the 25-pointer, the number 71, as they come through Luffield out for the 23rd time, leaving 2 to go to the checkered flag. 0.6 of a second it was at the completion of lap number 22. As they complete lap number 23, it is 0.27 of a second that Claridge leads Charlie Farah. Charlie Farah now has got his race face on. He can see that this is the attack mode that he's requiring here. O'Shea holding that third place still from Franco Bourne, number 17, as they turn it away left-handed and head then on up toward Becker's Corner. The leaders themselves are already in toward Becker's Corner. That's where we want to be, to just check. Now, this could be a slipstreamer. Will he want to go one lap too soon? I would think perhaps on the very last lap might be opportune for Charlie Farah to have a go at Harvey Claridge, number 16. The run down toward Brooklands Corner. He's right in the slipstream. Well, he's just 2 machines lengths back on the leader. Claridge from Charlie Farah. And it will be 1 lap to go. La dernière tour, the final lap away, some just 1.64 miles. And for Charlie Farah, the old Elvis Presley, it's now or never. He's got to do it now over the final lap now. Number 16 just keeps his eyes firmly planted ahead, just tucked down behind the bubble. He pulls his arms and he pulls his legs and he pulls his toes in maximum streamlining as he makes the run then up toward turn number 1. No way through there at turn number 1. Claridge holds it from Charlie Farah. I think Charlie Farah may have the opportunity on the run down toward Brooklands on the inside, a block pass on the inside at the left-hander, the only left-hander really. Through the left-hand curve into toward Beckett's now. Charlie Farah, if he's going to stand a chance here, has got to get closer. He's got to stick like Loctite glue to the back wheel of Claridge, but Claridge is doing absolutely everything he can to make it an impossible task for Charlie Farah. The final run down the Wellington Straight. Up to 125 miles an hour plus for these 250 Hondas in toward, and he's not way through there. He's done it. I think that Claridge has done enough. Harvey Claridge has done enough. Here's the battle for third place, and holding third place, O'Shea holds Bourne. Bourne is fended off for third place, but this is the drag toward the flag, and I think that Harvey Claridge is going to pick up his first win of the year, his first win since Knockhill of last year in the British Moto 3 Championship. Here they come. They're dragged toward the flag, and now alongside each other. They're on the outside, coming down the outside, and is he going to do it as they cross the line? Well, who is it that crossed the line? I think he's got it. I think Charlie Farah stopped stolen it. He's pulled the rug from under Farah's nose, from Claridge's nose, around the outside at Woodcote Corner. That was perfection there from Charlie Farah. He wins the race by 21 thousandths of a second, and Harvey Claridge, that did all the front running, all the hard work, just sees the rug pulled from under his nose on the final run in toward the checkered flag. 71 Farah, 16 Claridge, 8 O'Shea. They are the podium riders. The faller on that last lap. That looks as if that may well be number 65, is it? Yes, that's the diminutive figure there of Alexander. He's okay. He's perfectly okay. That is Alexander Rowan, the diminutive figure. All 4'7" of him, Alexander Rowan, the 13-year-old. But he is okay, crashing out on the very last lap. And what a cracking race that one was, ladies and gents. Perfect timing there by the number 71 of Charlie Farah. What I've got to quickly do, and I'll come back to the lower positions in a moment. Charlie Farah, he will pick up 25 points. He'll go on to 70 points. Claridge, he'll pick up 20 points. He'll go on to 77 points. O'Shea, 25, 20, 16. He'll go on to 78 points. Now, this is the critical one here for Franco Bourne. 25, 20, 16. He'll pick up 13 points. He'll go on to 83 points. So I reckon that is Franco Bourne, 83 points. Eddie O'Shea, 78. Harvey Claridge, 77. Charlie Farah, 70 points. And Casey O'Gorman remains on 50 points. The finishing order, and it all came down to the final run in toward, well, it was almost the MotoGP of the Suzuki's, was it not, here, winning here when they went just one lap too early and then coming back, Rinzi here a couple of years ago. But Charlie Farah, number 71, gets the win from number 16, Harvey Claridge, number 8, O'Shea. We're just getting a replay here of the run around the outside, almost reminiscent of the Kenny Roberts, Barry Sheen finish here back in 1979, ladies and gents. It was as close as that, 21 thousandths of a second. 71 Farah, 16 Claridge, 8 O'Shea. They are the podium three. Then followed by fourth, number 17, Franco Bourne. Fifth was number 52, Evan Belford, the 13-year-old. It was good recovery of that by James Cook, Captain James Cook, the number 74, the 13-year-old younger brother of Max, who won the British Standard, the British Championship on the standard category back in 2017. That was James Cook, number 74, to finish sixth ahead of, and this is a rider with a bright future here. This in only his second meeting of the Honda British Talent Cup, and this is the number 75 rider of the 12-year-old Jonathan Garnes. Then 43, the next rider home, that was Ryan Hitchcock, came home 8th. In 9th place it was the number 46 of Elliot Dufton, and in 10th place the number 15 of Harrison Crosby. 11th, 37, Corey Tinker. 12th, number 48, Ollie Walker. 13th, number 44, Lucas Hill. Another 12-year-old Lucas Hill. And then we go behind Lucas in 14th place, number 7, and that, the 15-year-old of Jamie Lyons. And in 15th place, well done, Annabelle Thomas. Absy Thomas, number 66, picks up a point on the Creswell Microlize Honda. Number 66, Annabelle Thomas, finishing in 15th place. Outside the points, 11 Dobson, 69 Scott, 2 Coates, 14 Pendrell. And I think that was the full quota of those on the full requisite 25 laps. Yes, it was. I think Rowan went out on 24 laps. Beach and Cook also on 24 laps.